Hello, my fellow Gargoyles. Welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations.
Court time!
Yep.
Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor.
Maggie? Oh.
Detective Gumshoe.
Are you doing alright? How are you feeling, pal?
As if you need to ask either question, sir.
Tell him get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay?
Roger.
And you. Yes? You better square this case right away. Got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious.
Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, right?
Yep.
So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir?
Well, of course. I got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You got me? Yeah, definitely.
I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should go all good pretty smoothly today, huh?
I can only wish. I mean, it is a Phoenix Wright game. Can't be that easy.
Alright, back in court.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Again.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, for God's sakes.
Ugh, bitter. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor? What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You talking to me?" It was a little, intimidating.
No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix.
I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he?
Our trusty?
So, Mr. Gutted, your opening statement, please.
Mr. Trent, whether you're fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today.
But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright!
I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I tend to find out.
There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another.
As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict of this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial.
I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said. Trust me.
Now then, Mr. Gutted, please summon your first witness.
Why are you looking so down, Gumshoe?
Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation.
Witness, state your name and for the court.
Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective Occupation Dick Gumshoe.
I don't think that's right. The way around, detective.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the office in charge of the case since yesterday, sir.
Since yesterday?
Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation tied up with another case now.
I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control for everyone's sake.
I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case?
Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Incorporated, a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report.
The court accepts this into evidence.
Alright, let's see. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 to 2:30. Jeez, that's an hour long!
Yeah, no kidding. Anything can happen between those times.
Seriously, what the fuck? Here are the floor plans of the restaurant.
Okay.
When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the waitress.
So the poison could have been put in by the kitchen if you want to make the false narrative that it was the Armstrong's case.
I don't know.
A waitress being the accused?
Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Jean Armstrong, the owner of the chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo.
It still seems to me to be very straightforward case to be.
Okay. Come, detective. Take up this hammer. And nail the defendant's coffin shut with your very own 2 hands.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy.
Yeah. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy at Glen Elg was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. And what we found was the potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, it looks like Mr. Bird might have had, well, some kind of motive.
Some kind of motive? Yeah, that makes no sense. Using the dark aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady.
The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but...
Yes?
Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood?
I already told you that wasn't me!
I mean, what the fuck did this guy do to make him look like a Phoenix? Seriously.
Yeah, the guy was all macho and shit. Phoenix ain't that.
Hell no. Alright, I want to know more about that. Can I stop you for just a minute? Eh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And
What killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction?
Hey!
Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, it's true. There are 2 testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table.
What should I do? Should I press?
Yeah, press order, man. Do it.
Oh god.
Oh, excuse me.
Ah.
Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way.
Huh. That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations, Wright. I have here in my possession a ticket.
A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me.
Yes, a one-way ticket to guilty plea. Population, the defendant. Okay. This is a photograph taken from the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene or scene as witnessed by the chief.
Jesus, I want to say chief as chef.
Moments after the poisoning took place, correct?
Oh wait, that's fucking...
Learn to read.
I'm like, I know how to read, it's just like I have to pay attention who's talking.
Yeah, that too.
I think the court will agree that such a clear view of the scene of a crime.
That's not a clear view, anybody could hide further into the damn thing.
How Mr. Try could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table?
Yeah.
It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Yeah, I want to know about this. So, traces of poison were found in the coffee cup, and nowhere else. Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid, or was it a powder? And I had to put it in layman's terms, I said it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper.
Huh. You put salt and pepper in your coffee, Wright?
The victim took his coffee black with no sugar.
It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee.
What should I do? Should I press on at this point a little harder or not? Yes. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right. That was what I was like. Jesus Christ.
In case you were wondering, the last objection was for the detective there.
Huh? For me?
Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. You have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence.
That piece, sir?
Yes, that piece.
What piece was it again?
This.
Assault charges! Should I be grateful for this coffee only hot enough to give me 1 first-degree burns? Holy shit! Ah, now I remember. This is the, victim's coffee cup.
Yes, the victim's cup. Take a look at the rim.
Oh yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it.
Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in the cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that waitress brought to him. Like this. Yeah.
On the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. The victim and Maggie's prints, okay. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. Interesting. And this. I want to know about this motive. Some kind of motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown away out of proportion.
You know what my golden rule is, detective? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another.
Huh? I don't get it.
I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive?
They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday too. And disappeared from the scene of the crime.
It wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000.
That's a lot of money.
Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one.
Then, is it possible Maggie stole a winning one? What should I do? Yeah, press harder, buddy. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client.
I have here in my hand the very ticket in question.
That's the $500,000 ticket?
One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What?
You've gotta be kidding me.
Sure, she did have the damn ticket.
Ugh.
Order! Order!
I mean, why is everyone freaking, like, uproaring about it? They heard this trial before, unless they didn't even do anything in the last one.
Huh. She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress.
You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court, immediately!
I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. I mean, it should be old now. I mean, there should be no way it would win now.
This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too. But it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say?
It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor.
And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately.
That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime.
I like an old man who knows the score.
There's also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, with that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules.
I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money.
Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast.
Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already.
I say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance. With one final decisive piece of evidence.
He's got more evidence against Maggie?
This is the apron that delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time.
Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen.
That stains looks like... It can't be blood, can it?
It seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself.
The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye.
Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing on this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more.
Something else? I presume you mean...
Of course. I'm referring to the pocket.
The pocket?
Is he a dumbass or something?
Yeah, seriously.
A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron.
Oh, bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket? Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What? Oh, for the love of God!
Order! 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 The court will accept these items into evidence.
My God, girl, there's so much shit that's dedicated to you!
There is something that's still bothering me, Mr. Goddard. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about the bloodstain.
You don't need to be told. Just look at it, you idiot!
Well, detective, could this stain really be blood?
No, wait, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten it on her apron while taking someone their breakfast that day.
You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe.
Well, it's done like that again, and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness.
I thought everyone knew what it was already.
I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case.
Yeah.
The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence. They have all been clearly established.
Well, Wright, it seems you really are a phony after all.
You really know how to drive a man nuts.
Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there.
Great, now we gotta figure out a new goddamn testimony. A crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a scary old man.
Okay.
Okay. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him. But we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene.
Well, I mean, the fact that she passed out, anybody with gloves could easily planted that shit on her.
You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good.
Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Trite. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So, let the fun begin.
Oh boy, I don't like this. Okay.
Alright. Yeah, you figured out who he was quickly. That don't make sense there.
Wait a second.
Huh? Did I say something dumb again?
Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes?
Yeah, basically.
In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly?
Oh, that.
He's so let down. He's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going.
There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket.
It seems Mr. Glenn Elg visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations.
We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds.
That's a reliable enough source for the court.
What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask him to hear more?
Yeah, I want to know about the bag.
So what sort of medicine was in the bag?
Well, actually, the bag we found was empty.
Huh?
Yeah, completely empty.
It was completely empty. That's not good. Huh. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence. Desperate, are you, Trite? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, Detective?
There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Bullshit.
What about that thing?
You're trying so hard, Chippy. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is just one small contradiction in your testimony.
Oh, finally. I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will ya?
You testify that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later?
No, they didn't.
The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where then did the medicine disappear to?
You are too cool, pal.
Thank you.
Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence?
I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh?
The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself.
Order! Order! Well, Mr. Goddard, what do you have to say to that?
That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic of the prescription bag, if you will.
What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New ear, but clinical? Yeah, what is this word?
Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Goddard?
Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say.
A war wound?
The day before the accident, or the incident, Mr. Elk found himself in a fight.
In a fight?
He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum.
He ruptured his eardrum?
And what on the earth was the prescription he was given?
It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested.
What?
It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear.
Yes, here it is. Very, very fine print.
It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at the Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication.
It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all.
No.
Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over.
She's right. But I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? I will push for the medication issue. I mean, that's kind of weird to do that. It is, but I got nothing else. Only moments ago, Mr. God had made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at the Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime?
But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal.
That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
Objection! You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that the prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide.
Objection!
It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable.
That's enough. Mr. Goddard, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Goddard?
I've got my own witness I like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater?
Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems a little more than the trip before. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. And there is something that bothers me.
Yay, good job, Nick.
Ugh. The court will adjourn for 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness.
Huh. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups.
Court is adjourned for recess.
God damn, okay. Recess time.
Phew, that was close.
Tell me about it. I nearly died in there.
That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? He said he helped me, but he totally set me up.
I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right?
It's okay. I know it's all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again.
Poor Gumshoe.
So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right?
Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitresses' outfits and projectile seeds.
I bet he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick?
Yeah. I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. Oh wow, they're not gonna go to be continued?
Damn, looks like it's gonna be a long episode.
Fuck!
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Goddard, your next witness, please.
The prosecution calls a lucky old timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Would the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation if you don't mind.
God damn it.
What's the matter, dude?
It's the fucking voice, like, I don't know. He's like, My name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too.
We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation.
My occupation? Listen, youngin'. How much call did you think there is for kimono embroider here?
Kimono embroider? Embroider?
That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered a family crest on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Wow, real craftsmen. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he could embroider my costume sometime.
Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen.
Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident?
Ah, yes. It was eating some seeds over a cup of Javocano.
Seeds?
What do you think these are,
I see.
So you saw everything that happened, Gramps.
Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all.
The ghost sounds like Gopshoe.
Yeah, I know. Just leave me alone.
Then please tell the court where all is.
Sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail.
He's really getting into this. Alright, what did you witness?
A young man was reading the sports paper. A serving girl brought him a Javocano, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl right in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress.
You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with the old-fashioned ones,
Newfangled?
All this talk about radios and glasses and wireless and spectacles, I tell you.
Excuse me?
Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away.
Well, I think it's time for the cross-examination. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The hell am I hearing? Is that the chickens outside?
I think so, man.
God, that's weird.
Anyway.
Oops. Alright. Man, Serving girl brought Javocano, but put something in it. Yeah. There. I remember her well.
I don't think so, buddy. We know you like looking at asses or whatever.
You said you remember her well, in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by?
Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is.
Sorry?
You can see all the way up to her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform.
So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear such a uniform. Even me.
Dude, come on now.
I wouldn't mind seeing you in a uniform, Phoenix. Of course you would, Ricardo. Of course you would.
Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image.
Yeah, thanks, Judge. Now I got that stuck in my head. Ugh.
Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together.
I guess I got a bit carried away. There are other things I recognize about her, too.
He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Press harder. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not.
Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony.
Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair, and her apron straps were loose.
A ribbon in her hair? Is there a ribbon? Oh yeah, there's a ribbon in her hair. Huh. And her apron was loose? Okay, well, can you give me more detail? You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face.
As if I would remember that.
The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face.
That's right. I can't even tell you the color. I can tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red.
So you see there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight.
There's no doubt he remembers the waitresses pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. Okay, waitress is back, I guess? Does it... The identifying features you described are all the things you would see from the back.
So what?
Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Huh. He's got you there, Gramps.
People normally talk about facial features when they ask to describe someone. But this witness testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons.
This isn't harassment. I tell you, I'm not obsessed with the straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details to it about any identifying features. Features you observe from the front, that is, to your testimony.
Sure.
This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. If I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that... Oh. Wait, really?
What about this apron here, buddy?
Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this.
That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like, just after he's done eating.
Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't. You think I ever forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot. Huh? What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here.
Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning.
Huh?
And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops.
Witness! You can't just say oops your way out of this.
Huh. Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Wright. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there were only one waitress in the restaurant.
Hey, Brandy's on! Hi, Brandy!
Yep.
That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird.
Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching.
I hope you understand the gravity of this situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say remembering seeing.
Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps.
You can rely on me, Captain. My nugget's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single accusation when I forgot what burger a customer wanted.
He can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times, he's blocking it out.
Very well, let's just let's test how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim.
Alright, the victim.
Alrighty.
He was another one of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling in his pages. And the young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Chicabano. Whatever the hell that is. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip.
Okay.
The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail.
Ah, yes. I hate those you-know-what types of who are so vague about everything.
How are we going to handle this, Nick?
We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot.
Just trip him up, you mean? That's kind of cruel.
I suppose, but it's what I do best. Alright, cool. Alright. Uh-huh. Okay. Now. That little fidget picked up the cup and with his free hand and took a sip. I mean... I guess this. Not sure why that worked, but alright. Yeah. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory?
I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you. Nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Care to tell us where this is going, Wright? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left.
Ha! What is this? Kindergarten?
But I would like the court to please take a look at this.
That's the coffee victim used, right?
Oh, because he's holding... Oh, he would have to hold it from his right hand. Yes, and on the rim you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips.
Yes, and there is a stain left by the coffee.
If you consider where that stain is, you clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand.
But how?
Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the apartment.
Wah! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw.
You still insist on your testimony?
That young brat was holding the coffee cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I'm good. A law-abiding citizen I am. Is that dead young hot bot and you spiky-haired yahoo, who are at fault?
Who, me?
You, old man. We've already heard quite enough from you already.
Don't call me old man, old man. Been around for 68 years I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but...
A little more.
Mr. Got It.
But this is my 16th cup of coffee. So this is your final stand.
Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor.
Wow. I'm sorry, he's the judge. He can fucking say no. You're done. Yeah, but yet again. Yeah, true. You got it.
A boy was wearing this earpiece on the same side as the green lens on his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the coffee, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand.
I mean, okay.
We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye.
It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers.
A monitor? You mean like a television screen?
The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work.
HD, DTV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad. But they don't matter. I know what I saw and I'm telling the truth.
It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying.
And those are the facts in a good old black and white.
Interesting. I don't think it matters at this point. There you go. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim.
What?
You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD.
No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, no, without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting.
I don't think so.
What did you say?
You're no doubt aware of this fact, Mr. Kudo. But the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear. Because he couldn't even hear in that ear.
Is that true, Captain?
It is.
Pigeon! Pretty pigeon.
I guess he's singing the pigeon song.
I guess so.
Order! Order! Order!
His witness's testimony is becoming unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind, and he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Got It.
A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk.
Captain, are you calling me a drip?
This is the victim's coffee cup in which contained the potassium cyanide was found. The mark of the rim clearly shows the victim picked it up with the right hand.
I'll never back down. I know I'm right. The lad drank his Tropicana with his left hand.
Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly the victim used both hands. He took a sip of the cup, held in his right hand, and then he switched it to his left. That's what the old man saw.
If that was the case, he would have seen the friggin' handprint. Or there would have been fingerprints on that cup. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee.
Which hand the victim used to pick up the cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. L drank the poisoned coffee. Like this.
Sadly, Mr. Goddard, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless.
Get him, Phoenix, get him!
I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce.
Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old-timer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, you can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned.
But... What now? Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me?
Leave you, Mr. Kudo?
Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his own... his T's or crosses to... What the fuck are you saying?
How's your bad memory my fault?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do.
I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know.
What?
There's more?
To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, young shark.
At me? He's looking at me?
Like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook.
Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee.
What do you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javacano you want if you come to my house after this trial. I may be 60 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man.
That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony.
You bet. Much quicker.
I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, nor can I. Better get ready, youngster.
I get the picture. Just quit throwing seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds.
Yeah, it's like the freaking game developers didn't develop enough to freaking take the damn, whatever.
Yeah, we give up at this point.
Oh. Okay. Oh, God, I forget.
Oh, excuse me. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of it myself. The young man slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of the thing. Well, that clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and strip of the cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down,
What?
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all. I remember it perfectly. You're down on me again? You're doubting a poor defenseless old man?
No, we're not doubting you, Mr. Kudo.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick?
Yeah, so what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain, that's all. That's all you can think of.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please.
Okay. Let's see. He's not too sure about himself. So he took that. Knocked down the vase, and it broke. The table got completely soaked. Wait. Where's the picture? This is the picture of the... Yeah, wait a minute. No, look, that thing's still there!
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, he didn't break the thing! What are you talking about?
Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
So what?
Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Lost your tongue, Granddad.
I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch! Ow! Ow!
Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be all here all night.
Huh?
What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes? Go on.
The broken vase. It was on my table.
What?
Well, you see... It startled me that the young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean.
The vase on your table?
Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked.
Dear God.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today.
I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all?
Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo.
Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh yes, I remember something else.
Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom.
Wait, listen to me!
Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked. And I'm still not in any position to deliver a verdict.
Huh?
The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two parties in the testimony we've heard thus far.
The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank with his left hand. And an earpiece, which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear.
Wow, Nick, you did it!
I therefore require both defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end.
But one more thing, Your Honor.
The witness we just heard from. He is the most insistent that his testimony should be of use. So he summarized it accordingly into a statement.
Okay.
You may each have a copy of it if you wish.
Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that.
God, it's really mad, huh?
Yeah. I would be too.
Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Garnett's.
Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony. More like a 5-year-old's apology.
What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies?
That is all. The court is adjourned.
Yeah, watch that to be a friggin', something we really need in the future. Yeah, probably. Well, we did it. We're done with fucking court again.
Yeah, but now it's finding evidence again.
Which will be another 3 goddamn episodes of.
You're fucking right. But I hope you guys enjoyed that little weird-ass trial. Until then, my fellow gargoyles, see you guys next time.